Welcome to episode 469 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
And I am not calling a mechanic anytime soon.
Oh, yes, the conversations we had before the light goes red. Goes, the red light, if you will.
If you will.
I'll tell you what.
And I will.
When we finally decide to call quits on the show, Nate, I hope you have kept all of that pre-roll stuff.
No,
and we'll just we'll go the Wu-Tang. We'll auction off one copy of it to a farmer, bro.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah. So if there's any big pharma extortion fucking guys who jack the price up on medication, by all means, get in touch with us.
Like rich as shit pharmaceutical executives, not you fucking agriculture losers.
Not people in Toowoomba that are overweight.
And we will
big farmers.
Yeah. And we'll need to sell it for $100 million because we're going to lose a certain chunk of that in legal fees.
Well, no, we just need enough to fucking go Epstein Island somewhere. And by that I just mean the recluse, not the kiddie fiddling.
Why couldn't it just be an island? Jesus Christ, man!
You could have just said our own private island. I mean, you call
TWiL
it Epstein Island. I mean,
you
you kind of imply that you want to fuck kids on it, and that's not the case.
Say that again, please, Nathan.
Or you want to have,
That's
or you want to have
not
like
the case.
I was trying to think of the name of the guy that ran Firefest, but I couldn't, so I went with Epstein. It's the only other person I know that owns an island.
When I think of that Firefest thing, I can only think of that guy that was going to suck the dick to get the water out of the customs or of the docks or whatever.
That's right.
Welcome, new listeners, to This Week in League.
Yeah, stick around for a while.
The show where three internet friends became real friends and use this time and your time to catch up twice weekly,
and in some cases money to catch up 3 times weekly. and
sometimes we talk about rugby league
for the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
That's why we're here.
Exactly. And this for the love of the game this week, it is half the love or double the love because it's half as many games and. Round 13 in the bag, and we've got Origin coming up too this week, so it's one of those rounds. But the round 13 games kicked off on Thursday night down there at Hope Solo Coliseum with the Cowboys 32 defeating the Gold Coast Titans 6. The Cowboys 32 tries to Lukey Talangi, Robson, Petahiku, and a double to the hammer. Tabwai Fido. Drinkwater 4 conversions. The Titans 6 came through a try to Toby Sexton and a conversion to Jermaine Osako about 15 minutes in, and that was it.
I was impressed with the Cowboys. I think they're still answering most of the questions the rest of the comp, with the exception of probably Penrith, are putting to them. Defensively, was still sound in this game, and even despite the plays that they had out for Origin, they held strong and were patient, waited for their opportunities and took full advantage and executed. I think some of that, or a lot of that, comes down to the fact that Townsend continues to keep it all together, and Taumalolo had a fantastic performance in this game, as in true to form in recent weeks. And Lukey and Drinkwater and Talangi continue to develop. They didn't make, obviously the Origin guys like Nanai and those boys have gone to another level, but the efforts and application of Drinkwater and Lukey and those guys shouldn't be understated, and the importance to the Cowboys. So it's quite impressed with that performance. As poor as the Titans were, I think, in direct contrast.
Ably assisted by some god fucking awful defense close to the line. Like I'm just looking at the try scorers' names here and trying to remember. But like, if we're being realistic, I mean that Lukey try, Peter Hicku's try, and that try that Hammer scored at the end off the kick. Yeah. Where there were two fucking Titans there. They were ahead of him. It wasn't like he burned them for pace. I mean, they were just kind of jogging back towards.
I don't know what it is about the Titans. Maybe you guys have got some thoughts, but wasn't all that long ago we were saying they were well coached. They had, several pieces. They were well on their way.
Well,
They
this
made
last
the finals.
year,
They made the
it was
finals last year.
Last year they were on the uptick,
They are
and this
way
year was going to
off.
be this year was going to cement those, the improvements they had last year. They were going to solidify that, and they were just scraped into the final through a little bit of good fortune last year.
Yep.
But this year was the year they were going to cement it, make it under their own steam, and maybe improve their ladder position. And they have gone so
If
far
anything, we
backwards.
expected the Titans to be what the Cowboys are.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was on the back of they were, again, on paper, one of the biggest potential young forward packs in the game. They acquired Fafita, they acquired Tino, they had some older guys running around the back, like Proctor was serviceable at that stage. Then AJ Brimson had come on, he'd started playing State of Origin, and he was one of those players who that really helped. He came back from the Origin arena and went up a notch. They were lacking in the halves.
Well, look, they had a good halfback.
Yeah, exactly.
But they thought that at the end of the year, like a half a dozen games or however many that Sexton played was enough to establish him as the future guy, and so they did take a gamble on having a very inexperienced.
Who in a terrible side has been okay, has been good.
Yeah.
But where's their other half gone?
Yeah.
For the Cowboys,
I don't know what the answer is for the Titans. To be honest, I think they're like candles. Cowboys though.
Well, I fucking love the fact that the Cowboys have, lost to Penrith, but beaten Melbourne. And everyone's saying, look, they're a genuine contender. They've played the best now. They caught Melbourne at an opportunistic time.
Annihilated Parramatta.
Took full advantage of it. Parramatta has beaten both Penrith and Melbourne, and no one thinks they're an actual genuine contender.
No.
But that side, there's almost like this journey that you see these up and coming sides go through, where they'll get one over one of the top teams, and then really get put in their place by another one. But then they go back to that middle of the pack level, and it just reiterates how far ahead they are. So they could have gone back to the Titans, and it could have been, Penrith spanked them, took the wind out of their sails, and now they've sort of leveled back to where we all think they should have been. But they stuck in this game, and they're developing that beautiful trait of patience, in that they're not rushing out and trying to score every set. The end of every set isn't an all or nothing play, as in we'll either put ourselves in a scoring position or give 7 tackle sets. But looking over the stats of this game, possession was 47-53 to the Cowboys. Completion rates, 75 and 77%. It wasn't like there was heaps between them.
Well, this is the thing. Like the second half, there was like almost the entire second half was an arm wrestle, and they were kind of stuck there at what was it, like 16-6 or something like that.
Yep.
And so the Titans, they had the possession and they had the field position, but they just couldn't do anything with it. And that speaks to what you're saying about the patience of the Cowboys, and B, the fact that their defense is legit and a source of pride this season.
Exactly. That's it.
I attribute some of that patience to Townsend, which is not a trait I would ever have suggested would go, be said about Chad. He's a patient footballer.
I think something's becoming clear this year over the fortunes of two different sides regarding Chad Townsend. Chad wasn't the problem. It was Sean Johnson.
Yeah, that's it.
It was like some Kaiser Soze shit. He was.
There goes old Limpy Sean.
A massive fucking.
Ironically,
massive plot
Sean
twist.
Johnson walks with a limp.
But it's obvious to see the difference in the cohesion that those two teams are playing with. The Titans don't really seem to be together as a unit the way the Cowboys are. And I think, and obviously the Cowboys are fit this year. They're ready for contact. Their first contact's sticking when they're going in for tackles. But whatever Ming the Merciless has done to bring them together as a playing group is paying dividends on the football field. Socials on that one. Joshua, he said Campbell is so good and he's only going to get better. That was a fucking other rough one. Do they say how long he's out for? He did his hammy.
Yeah, I don't have no idea about the injuries for this one.
It's fucking rough, hey. Garth, he said, Asako doing Asako things. Glad the Broncos let him go. Oh, Jack said, I haven't seen the Titans put up a performance like this since last Friday. Richard said, Chad is so immortal, they literally named a country after him. A shit country, sure, but a country. And we'll end this one in some fucking European poetry style. Carsten, he said, on the Thursday night, a beloved, solid Hiku marshalling the defence. There's your Hiku.
Wow. Brings back so many memories.
Can we just say that is a Japanese poetry format about a North Queensland Rugby League side player from New Zealand, written by a native German-speaking individual. We are the fucking multicultural melting pot.
I'll tell you what. It's not the first time Japan and Germany have gotten together for explosive results.
Righto, moving along to the next game, the Friday night game. The Panthers 30 predictably dispatched the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs 18. The Panthers tries to Smith, Edwards, May, kick out, and Salmon. Falls 4 conversions and a penalty goal on debut, as well as a nice kick for that first try. And the Doggies 18 through. We talk about the previews for the games. We're like, the only way the Doggies are going to score points.
Nailed it.
A double to Adokar and a try to Matt Burton, and Matt Burton 3 conversions.
Yeah, if Burto hadn't have done it, you know, we really could have introduced this one. It was like, you know, the Penrith Panthers and Josh Adokar 10.
Yep. Yep. All right, off you go.
Floor is yours.
I liked the changes in roles in this game because, you know, I've said it so many times during the season. One of the concerns I have about Penrith going into the tail end is that there's a bunch of these younger guys that weren't there 21, 22. In 20 and 21, who don't know what it feels like to lose a grand final or to go through and get so close but fall short. Really all they know is success. They've come into a team that was successful, so they've joined up in that buoyancy and they're winning almost every game now. But it was really nice to see them almost become the old heads for 80 minutes and have to step up and show a bit of maturity.
And they did.
Yeah, they certainly did. It's not exactly close to Storm levels of next man up yet, but I do like the way that it's building to the stage where even having, you know, fucking 90% of your side out as future immortals representing your country and state, they can still get in and play that same brand of football. I think that's what impressed me most out of this.
I think the most pleasing thing for Ivan would surely be the way they withstood the Bulldogs. You know, they made a bit of a surge. It looked like they were starting to get their tails up obviously off the back of Burton and Adokar. And they continued to rally and kept playing footy and stuck to their structure and their system.
Yeah.
And put the plays on to put it beyond doubt, which, you know, they didn't look shaky at all. They just continued doing what they were doing, and that's a sign of a mature football side.
Yeah, it is. You're right. What did the socials say on that one? Josh said, Burton to Fox may be the only weapon, but god damn, it's gorgeous when it comes off like that. Yeah, not wrong. Matthew, he said, Burton's been developing that kick for a few weeks now. We got it right tonight with Josh Adokar. Terry, he said, kick out is a flat track bullying the Dogs, and I am here for it. You see, being a dog supporter means frothing over how good a player is before he joins us, and then we give them a career lobotomy. Very true. Nathan, he said round 13 stats. Edwards, 1 try, 165 run metres, 4 tackle busts. Teddy, 0 tries, 0 run metres, 0 tackle busts. Stats don't lie.
You're hearing it more and more, apparently.
More and more. More and more.
Who said that? Who sent that in?
Nathan.
Oh, old agenda, Nathan.
Yeah.
Ryan, he said, ever since Stepdad got a hard on about Appy being deceptive, I've been watching his work out at dummy half. How much are the Panthers going to miss him next year when he starts running ninth at the Tigers? He seems to be the catalyst for the majority of tries when they're on the opposition try line. Yeah, look, his deception is fantastic. What I love more than anything about Appy Coruscant is that he understands that the number one job of a 9 is to give service. And the fucking width of the passes he throws with pinpoint accuracy are what gets that attack flowing. You know, you don't see Penrith having to do those things other clubs do where... I saw it in the Warriors game. Like the amount of times... I'm not trying to make excuses for Johnson, but the amount of times he had to like pause in his run or halt or reach behind him to grab a pass just completely fucked their attack. But yeah, Appy will be a big loss next year.
Right, moving on to Saturday. The mighty Manly Seagulls, 44 to feed the Warriors 12 at Brookie. The Manly side tries to Sipley, Olaquatu, Tapau, Schuster, Saab, and a double to Ruben Garrick. New South Wales Origin fullback in waiting. Garrick 6 of 7 conversions and 2 penalty goals. A night out, as they say. Defeating the Warriors 12 tries to bunny a fire, and Jack Murchie with Reece Walsh 2 of 2 conversions. Well, this was a very fucking pleasing game and enjoyable to watch, I must say. In the spirit of Dairy Queen, I want to just give nothing but love and positivity to Marty Tapau. Scored a try that he didn't know he scored, but I don't think he dropped the ball. He did give one piggyback, I think, through a lazy sort of high tackle or something like that in the second half. But otherwise, pretty good. Schuster played great. I mean, a preview of his future in the halves. Obviously, he's still probably 10, 15 kilos too heavy, and he's definitely short of a gallop in terms of being an 80-minute player. But he's got 10 months to get to that, and an off season in the middle there to get himself right for the role that he's looking like he's going to have from next year onward. What else was I going to say about this game? I like the way it was. I mean, it's not like it's a huge fucking career achievement to outcoach Nathan Brown. However, the way that Desi changed up the game plan, knowing that they wouldn't have Daly to kick him out of danger, then wouldn't have anyone really in there with a top class long kicking game. The way they changed things up and got the forwards going was fucking great. And I'd actually like to see more of what they were doing. Digging in on the edges and spinning it back in, and the forwards just, probably abetted by the Warriors a little bit, but they fucking were just rampaging from the very first set. They got all the way down, on the first set. And so I want to see more of that sort of shit. And while I'm giving out praise, I've got to give praise to fucking Grant Atkins for something that he said in the second half where the Warriors dropped the ball and knocked it on. And I think it was Schuster that scooped it up, and he probably went on a run of about 25, 30 metres. And as he got tackled from behind, he dropped it. The Warriors are blowing. He's gone, okay, that's a knock on from the Warriors. So we're going back here to play the scrum. And the Warriors players are blowing up going, that's got to be fucking, he's taking the advantage and everything like that. That's got to be, and he said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something along the lines of, look, if we want the game to be played, if we want rugby league to be played, like guys to take opportunities and to play like that, then we've got to we've got to adjudicate. We can't go pulling that shit back. You know what I mean? So it's actually trying to make a decision. Saying we want to see fucking guys trying to scoop it up and do something with it. after a mistake rather than, just dropping on the ball or whatever, which is, it was actually great to hear a referee, say something like that, clearly on the mic like that.
I'd say Grant Atkins, I would suggest, is the premier referee.
Yeah, see, look, he's absolutely raped us at times too. But I mean, like, I'm all about lighting candles in this one.
Well,
so
he reverse raped you in this game.
Well,
every fucking
what he
decision
did is
could have gone your way.
Well,
went your way.
Well, no, not really. I mean,
everyone that could have did.
Everyone that legitimately was in our favour went our way, which is great. And I mean, so that what you're saying, he's done the bare fucking minimum required of a referee to adjudicate a game fairly and right down the middle.
No.
So, which is great.
Warriors, your best friend.
The Warriors, absolutely fucking hopeless. Sean Johnson, absolutely fucking hopeless. I saw a lot of people saying, "What's the deal with these fucking these midfield kicks?" And I will disagree there. The midfield kicks are the best weapon that the Warriors have, because I mean, you want to try and make, Jason Saab, who's just come back from a month off, you want to make him catch the ball in traffic and try and force an error. You don't want to kick it down his throat when he's fucking 5 metres out from the try line and he's got 30 metres of fucking clear space before a guy's coming his way.
Here's the thing. With Jason Saab, you definitely do. You want to kick it to him in the corner. However, like you got to be on him when
you got to be on him when he gets it though.
That's it. You remember when Penrith played him earlier in the year? He got zero space, so it was the chase that made the kicks awesome.
Yeah, literally everybody played when literally any team played him. I mean, they just realised. I mean, the fact is he's great under the high ball because he's fucking 2 metres tall. Yeah. However, if you got to you're tackling the second he gets the ball, and and you're sorted, because I mean, because of his his physique and everything, and just the fact that he is so tall. I mean, leverage wise, it's very difficult for him. If you fucking got him the second he hits the ground, there's not a fucking lot you can do about it. I mean,
is that why Saab's out of favour? It's just
probably, but I mean, he was out. He had a foot injury he was out for 3 or 4 weeks with an injury, and then I think he may have. I think he was on the cusp of being able to being right for last week, but he wasn't, which is why we had to deal with fucking the TWiL situation. Harper, he had a great game. He had the kind of game that we saw him have at stages last year, and really I couldn't have asked for much more from him. I mean, his defense was great. He made one of the greatest fucking holding up over the try line tackles from a kick that I've ever seen. I mean, it was 1-on-1. They had no right to stop the try being scored. Yep. And he scored a great try with great running and step past Sean Johnson, I think, to make the initial break, and the fucking pass, the draw and pass was couldn't have been better. So he had a good return. And the one thing I did like about his game was he's got that bit of cunt in his game, especially when he's on. And towards the end of the first half, like right at the end, last play of the first half, Manly kicked it downfield. The Warriors wingers collected it, probably 30 metres out. And because the siren's about to go, he's kind of just trotted it back casually, thinking that they were just going to, give him a cuddle and then, whistle blows and that's half time. But Harper instead has just gone fucking bang and just smashed him and then driven him to the ground and then given him the business while he was on the ground. And then the Warriors' frustration just boiled over and they almost started a fight, right on half time, and apparently had to be separated from him as they were going down the tunnel for the break. And that kind of thing, after the half that the Warriors had, just head fucked them even more so. So I did love that. I don't have any real complaints. The fitness of Schuster will improve, and I think in the second half he wasn't great. And the other thing I worry about a little bit is that his kicking game, short kicking's okay, but he's going to have to get a boot on him as well. Otherwise, it's going to be like 5 years ago, and there's going to be one long kicker in the side, and he's going to be fucking smashed. But yeah, it was good to see Jason Saab have a smile and get a nice fucking length of the field try and put 30 metres on him by jogging the entire way.
There you go.
But yeah, loved it. Warriors are fucked. Sean Johnson cooked. The end.
Well, that was first comment on the socials. Joshy said, commentary already shitting on Sean Johnson. I guess the boys were on the mark.
It's funny, the commentators don't usually come out and just start slating people, but they were, I can't remember who the commentators were, but they were on him the whole fucking game.
It's because we start movements, Nathan.
Yeah, true.
We are the Metamucil of the rugby league world.
With the
All
market
movements
makers.
start with us. Robert said it's a long weekend in New Zealand. I'm not going to ruin it watching the Warriors.
Was it Scaffold Day?
Jesus, Glenny. Far out. Brendan, he said, Manly must be the only side to be better in origin times. Not having DCE there to be the human turnstile is making their defence look strong. Look, as much as I want to agree with your narrative, I would suggest that anything in this game is definitely more the result of the Warriors being bad than Manly being good. So I don't think Manly all of a sudden look like a powerhouse in defence. I really think that the Warriors just threw that.
They also only did one piggyback all game as well. So they did the hold the ball thing.
That's it.
Hey, who would you say is the halfback that misses the most tackles?
I wouldn't want to hazard a guess at that.
It's very clear. There's one guy that's way worse than everybody else.
Who is it?
Ben Hunt.
Yeah, but again, I'd say he suffers from a bit of James Maloney syndrome there. In that the way that stat's measured, because he will always get in and try and make first contact, and he may not stick, but he stops their momentum long enough for somebody else to come in and finish off. So I'm not sure missed tackles in the halves is a super accurate one.
That's something I'd bring up as well in like Origin as well, because like he's a half that misses the most tackles.
Oh, he's got to rush out of the line,
and he's got to defend. He's got to defend in the middle.
Yeah.
In state of Origin football,
I would suggest that it'd be better to measure which half misses the most one-on-one tackles on the goal line, or which half has their next immediate outside man scored upon the most.
So one-on-one tackles. It's always a close competition. Tackle effectiveness percentage. Is that what you want to see?
Yeah. Well, what does that mean though?
I'm just trying to find. I'm just looking at the. Well, it's no surprise the player who's the least effective half at tackling is no longer in the game for rugby league. He's up there fucking getting his hair cut by Glenny's mate.
Jesus.
But Ben Hunt is second. But Ben Hunt is second worst though. So yeah.
But again, it depends entirely on what they mean by tackle effectiveness.
Well, yeah, this is just the actual. Yeah. This is just the stats lines that they log for games.
That's it. And finally, on that one, Liam, he said it's clear that the teams shitter than Manly are way shitter than Manly. We are the McLaren of the top of the bottom 8. Yes, you are. That's it.
All right, let me find my things again. The Canberra Raiders 22 defeat the Roosters 16 down in Canberra. The Raiders 22 tries to Elliott, Savage, Chris, and Timoko. Fogarty 3 conversions, and the Roosters 16 tries to Tupanua, Momorowski, Suwali, and 2 conversions from 3 attempts to Sam Walker.
I think the Roosters are further off the pace than many of us have realised. It's becoming clearer and clearer by the week, albeit no Tedesco, and respectfully, I still think that the Roosters are the frauds of the NRL at the moment.
They still, I mean, like they had some Origin outs, but I mean the Raiders for their, they were without Papali'i as well. Mm. But
I thought that the Raiders came up with the big moments, and if you look at these two sides, the Roosters would be the team that vast majority of people would pick to come up with the big plays in the big moments of a game to win it, and they didn't have it. The Raiders.
This was a good game.
It was entertaining.
This is an entertaining game. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
I think the Raiders just with their effort,
Yeah,
I'm loath to give Rangers any credit, but the charge down, the follow through, the pickup, and from Horsburgh,
he really did play a leadership role in this game. I mean, you could see it.
Yeah, he 100% almost played like a brunette.
But I was impressed with the way the Raiders stuck to the task and as I said, come up with the plays. The Elliott try for me was a concern as far as the Roosters defensively. You wouldn't see the Roosters concede a try like that last year in recent seasons. You just fucking wouldn't.
Yeah. Although, here's the thing though. You go through that Roosters team, and just thinking of who's in the NRL at the moment, they're not that stacked with talent compared to what they were. As in, if you go down that side and do the old, who's the better player?
Yeah.
Who are they going to mark up against, and what's it going to be? There are some there, like the Teddies of the world. They'll generally be the better player, probably, unless they're playing Manly or Penrith. But like Joey Manu, again, he's going to probably come up trumps.
He was fucking great though.
Yeah,
in this game, Manu was great.
He's fucking amazing. But then again, you go through that side. I don't know, we've got Origin outs, but Momirovski, is he going to be better than how much of the competition in his position? Suwali,
I think he's taken a massive. This is the position he's lobbed up where the team where he's finally just he's not gonna fucking cash in.
That's it.
And he's looked fucking ordinary at times. I mean, he got absolutely schooled by what was it, Katoni Staggs a month or so ago. And
honestly, here's the thing: you put Keary up against a bunch of other sevens.
Yeah,
he's now a middle of the pack 7.
Yep.
Drew Hutchinson, Takiaho.
Who Hutchinson? I say.
Fucking hell.
I tell you what, though, Suwali he showed with that try. I mean, the sort of things that people are obviously expecting from him going forward, like in attack. I mean, that's sort of like that classic, like Israel Folau sort of
exactly.
Target. Looked fucking amazing.
But to be fair, though, that's not the player that he was pitched as. It was all the step and the speed and all the rest of it. He's fucking amazing in the air.
Yeah. I need to see more out of Takiaho and Tupanua and Crichton if I'm going to start taking the Roosters seriously, because they are getting fucking monstered by every other team they come up against.
Well, I mean, speaking about Tupanua, I mean, like, he actually came close. How many times? Like, he had an obstruction, and then I think he was held up twice. And that period of defence there from the Raiders was probably the winning of the game.
That's it. I'm talking about middle of the field stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that. Well, okay, you got to get in there and grind for 20 minutes and assert some dominance in the middle of the field.
Crichton's the biggest drop off for me.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Socials.
Maybe he got some more fingers cut off in the off season.
There you go. Brendan, he said the Roosters have little drive without JWH. No other Roosters player has his drive. He's signed till the end of 2023. Personally, he'll be limping home. Fuck me, he's got another year to go. Another Josh. He goes, our new number 7 needs a few more games under his belt. Doesn't quite look like he has the experience of our veteran Schneider. Riggs. Roosters lost that because of Origin call-ups. If Whiten had been there, they would have won. And Ivan said, Raiders shit-stirring with the fade these days, pretending it's happening, then slamming the door shut, completely in control. What's it been now? Has it been a month since their last proper fade?
They did look like it was no chance of happening in this game. I mean, they were very composed for the duration.
It's got to do fucking wonders for them.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so that was round 13. Now we've got coming up on Wednesday night. We've got the first State of Origin game.
Yes.
So we did have a bit of a chat about it. I think when the teams were announced or whatever on one of the last episodes last week. So, Glennie, do you have any thoughts about Origin? Now that the sides have been named, and I still think we're going to get that change with Crichton and Whiten earlier, if not before kickoff, earlier. But I just can't see the benefit of fucking stashing Crichton on the bench for more than a quarter of the game.
Would tend to agree with you. I still think Queensland, that New South Wales side is stacked with talent, and I think purely talent on paper, New South Wales is a stronger side, but Munster is probably the guy. He's arguably the form player of the competition at the minute. I think if he has a big game for Queensland, they'll go a long way to winning a close, tight contest, but they need to get a lot out of Ponga at fullback as well, with the ball in hand, but perhaps more importantly, defensively, he has to step up. And because the ball, his defence will be tested given the talent in the New South Wales side, and he has to step up to that. That's me.
Yeah, I feel like Queensland have the advantage probably through the forwards.
Correct.
But I think New South Wales got them in the halves and the backs, and also not just the in terms of like combinations as well, because we're dealing with like club combination, which is tough to overcome. And not only is it the club combination, but I mean Cook's been there, they've played series together now, so they're starting to get to that stage, and got Teddy there, they've played series with that spine, so they're starting to get that understanding, and hopefully they get that kind of just longevity and combination that comes from playing 10 series together. Ultimately, like Queensland had through their golden period. Harry Grant. I mean, I understand the choosing him to as an impact player, but I mean, at the end of the day, if he's your best hooker in your state, which I believe he is, you probably want to get him on the field. For me, the biggest worry, and you mentioned this too, Glennie, but the biggest worry and concern if you're a Queenslander is Ponga, because for everything he can do, amazingly in attack, if his mind is on the job and he injects himself, with enough enthusiasm and involvement, he's never been he's not this great positional fullback in defence, and he's not a courageous fullback in defence.
Yeah.
And he's not like a fucking great one-on-one tackler or any of that sort of thing.
He's not the guy that if you fuck up somewhere in the line close to the try line, and then all of a sudden Billy Slater would just appear. He just read the game so fucking well. Ponga doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean,
or courage.
Yeah. Well, the big issue with the Paul Green era sides was that they conceded a lot of defence, and a lot of points, and defence wasn't great.
Yep.
I think this time, with the injection of guys like Ruben Cotter, who just doesn't miss tackles, I think that's a great positive move.
Yep.
Felice Kafusi, I think, is more of a worry, being there. I think that, loyalty's great, but I think he's one of the ones that maybe should have, he's about that time where, perhaps it gives way.
There's always those guys, though, who, like, it's been a year since we've seen him in the Origin arena, and last year Queensland weren't going that crash hot. Was he injured last year? Or did he play?
I can't remember, to be honest.
But there are those guys who get in, and you put him in their state jersey, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, yeah, he's fucking awesome in Origin. I forgot that. Like, he's good at his club. Oh, yeah, no, he thinks he's 21 again. Yeah, no, he'll be fine. And it wouldn't surprise me if he's got a bit of that in him. I'll be interested to see.
In attack, Queensland, I imagine, are going to be going to the air, trying to hit Cobbo and Xavier Coates, who are both great in the air. Particularly the matchup with Coates versus To'o, because it's just such a physical mismatch in terms of height. So yeah, I think that if New South Wales get off to a good start, and can maybe put sort of get it out to sort of 10-12-0, I think they'll go right on with it. I think if Queensland, however, are sort of within 4 points when it comes down to it, and or get out to a good lead themselves, then it might be tough for New South Wales. But I think New South Wales will either win narrowly or they'll win really well.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and I'm hoping to, because I am lighting candles and going to Dairy Queen this week because I'm in a good mood. I think that I'll go towards the more optimistic perspective and say that New South Wales will win by 22 points.
Amazing.
Are you, Glennie? Queensland by how many? In your dreams, what's it going to be?
7.
Oh, you do have the greatest field goal fucking exponent in the game.
Ben Hunt.
Yeah, no.
Kalen Ponga.
No.
I'm just as confused as if you'd say you have the worst fucking defensive 7 in the history of the game.
Oh dear. It's just a shame that you like to lean on stats so much. Yet, if I counted down how many how many halfbacks have missed more tackles than Ali Cherry Evans, would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they've got Harry Grant in there, so I won't count him. That's 9, 10.
Yeah, but we've been over this. I have questions about the qualities of his stats. They tell me you've never heard a fucking heroin junkie complain about the quality of his gear.
They are the official statistics, and I'd just like to say that having played 3 less games this season, Nathan Cleary's made more missed tackles. So, shut the fuck up.
Yet somehow keeps winning.
And, well, yeah, I mean, it's a fucking team sport.
But again, on the try line, individual one-on-one just fucking misses. That's what I want to see.
All right, one-on-one tackles. Let's go. Oh, shit. I know who's made the most one-on-one tackles in the halves.
Luke Brooks.
No, Luke Brooks has made... Oh, shit. It's about 15 or 12. Oh, no, there he is. He's made the 6th most amount. Glennie, so that's not too bad.
So people obviously target him.
Yeah, he gets targeted.
Yeah.
Let's see Brooks' tackle effectiveness. I'm going to have to start it from the... Oh, no, there he is. He's down there. 1, 2, 3, 4...
40, 48, 49, 74.
19, but it's in halves. I mean, so how do you get... It's halfback. So how are you the 19th most effective halfback when there's a competition with 16 teams?
Exactly. I call shenanigans on your stats.
No, because you've
maybe
got
it's
guys
really accurate, and Luke Brooks is that bad.
No, you've got guys for example, like Kelly for Brisbane, who hasn't probably been there for. Yeah, he's only played 4 games, so he hasn't had a chance to fuck up his percentage.
And the Cowboys do have 9 halves.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's it. Did we talk about what we're doing, Membersode? If you want to,
we did not
hear us ramble on. We're going to be doing the second half of the State of Origin game as a game companion for our patrons this week.
Yes, and that will come out, not too far after the game on Wednesday night. And then for our preview episode this week, we're going to do it on Thursday. There's no Thursday night football, so we're going to do it on Thursday, and it'll be out Thursday night for Friday.
That's it.
So that'll work out great. And on that note, that is the end of episode 469. Thanks for listening. If you do want to get the game companion there for Origin, then by all means, feel free to become a patron at patreon.com/TWiL Nation. And jump in there, and that one will be delivered straight to you late on Wednesday. Do you fellas have anything else that you would like to say?
No.
Before we move on to the sweet embrace of bed?
No.
Most certainly not.
Forward to it.
Glennie's about to put the fire on up there. Up in Toowoomba.
I'm ready to go.
Did you say you made your first order of firewood? You got your first delivery?
Got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Are there no trees in Toowoomba?
Or we had to chop a big fuck off tree
Toowoomba,
down out of the front yard.
It's Toowoomba. You know the white man's raped that fucking land up there.
Yeah, true.
So how much? So what quantities are you buying firewood in?
I think it must have been about a ton.
Jesus Christ!
Maybe half a ton.
Serious?
Sorry,
you buy firewood?
Yeah, you buy iron bark because it burns better and it's hotter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but you buy it.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking lumberjack, motherfucker. I've got a shirt that makes me look like one, but it doesn't mean I'm wielding an axe.
Fucking hell.
He's in the MI, not the FI.
Yeah, fucking hell. Oh,
Jesus,
yes,
there we go.
I do buy firewood.
Okay.
No, I think it must be half a ton. Must be half a ton I unloaded.
How long's half a ton going to last you in the fireplace? Because you're only just using it. You're not using it for smoking. I mean, you should be using that iron bark in the smoker as well.
True, but I only have the Weber Q for smoking because I'm still just a beginner. But
okay,
no, we'll need at least another load before winter's out, maybe 2.
There you go.
Fuck,
expensive little habit.
How much does it cost for half a ton?
180
whatever
bucks
it is
delivered.
Is there like a fucking
Two
Pablo
loads of wind, that's not
Escobar of
expensive, that's
ironbark?
Three.
Up in
Sorry, what was
Toowoomba?
that?
Or 3 loads.
Is there a Pablo Escobar of ironbark?
It's a fairly competitive market.
First you get the wood, then you get the money, then you get the woman.
And ironically, because I'm a big farmer, I can no longer get the wood.
Fucking hell. Anyway.
So you actually started at Big Pharma and then you finished on Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Well,
How good.
circle
All
of life.
encompassing.
What a fucking show. What have we created?
I don't know.
Really?
There's 469 episodes on it.
I didn't say it was
can't answer your
good.
question.
I didn't say it was good. I just said there's a fucking lot of it.
Yeah, you ask me what have we created, and I say I don't know, but nothing of value. That's what.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
On that note, we'll talk to you next time.
Later.
See ya.